Welcome everyone
to Conversations, Cocktails, and Connections. I'm Emily Reeves.
And I'm Amy Hester.
What are we doing tonight?
Oh my gosh, we are making something extra special with bourbon, one of our faves.
We do love the bourbon. Hello, Bullet.
Oh, I do love the Bullet. Should we just call it the Bullet?
The Bullet.
Where did you get, where are you buying the Bullet from?
Well, I mean, I buy everything from my local liquor store, my neighborhood liquor store, which is Heights Fine Wines. I mean, I am a little bit partial to it because I help them with some social media, and my husband works there one day a week, so I may have some loyalties, but I am partial to Heights Fine Wine, and clearly I'm going to need to go pick up some more.
I love the fact that we're going to utilize real sugar cubes.
I know. This is going to be an experiment. Again, like everything else on this podcast, as we make drinks, it's an experiment.
And when she did buy these, we did talk about, we were going to use them for, I think, the mojito at one episode. And I was like, well, what is the measurement of 1 cube of sugar?
We didn't know.
We didn't know. Now we know. What is it?
It's 1 teaspoon. So 1 sugar cube is 1 teaspoon. It's 4.2 grams to be exact.
Okay.
I was like, great. What do I do with grams? Grams to teaspoon conversion on the Google, and that's what I got. So the more you know. Yeah. That's what I learned today.
I just feel like sugar cubes, or you go give like a little horse a little treat and you give sugar cubes.
Well, we're going to be the horses tonight.
Yeah, we're horses.
So tonight we're going to make an old fashioned.
Okay. I love it.
And we're going to make one, like, little change. Like, you're supposed to have orange. We don't have orange. We've got lemon. So we're going to use a lemon peel instead of an orange peel.
It's okay.
It's citrus.
Yeah, same thing.
You know, we're going to make it work. Okay, so are we ready?
Yes.
Okay, so
let's do this.
I know traditionally you make an old-fashioned in the glass, stir, then add the ice.
Since we're doubling.
Since we're doubling, we're going to make it in a mixing glass and then pour it over our ice.
Yes.
So...
And we have this large cubed ice.
We do.
We were trying to decide if we wanted to use 1 cube or 2, but we thought, well,
they may melt down a little bit.
They'll melt down,
like especially when you pour the alcohol over it.
So.
Okay, so the recipe calls for half a teaspoon sugar, so that's for 1.
Okay.
So we're doubling, so we're going to use 1 cube, which will be 1 teaspoon of sugar, and then you are supposed to put the bitters on that, and so it's 3 dashes.
So just one of those for both of us?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because 1 cube is a teaspoon, and the recipe calls for half a teaspoon.
Okay.
All right, and so then it's supposed to be 3 dashes of
bitters.
Angostura bitters.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna put 6 dashes in, which dashes are hard to measure.
Like, okay, that's good.
Basically, I'm just gonna shake it 6 times.
And
I really want to taste that, but I'm afraid it's going to be really bad.
Please don't do that. Oh, go ahead. Do it. Bitter's face.
Oh, it's not bad.
Okay, I'm not going to do it.
It's not bad.
I'll taste the sugar.
I don't want you to lick my thumb, but thank you. Okay, and then we need a teaspoon of water.
Okay. Right here.
Right, we've got the water. Oh, this is an ounce measurer. I didn't think about teaspoon measuring. So let me grab a different thing. It's okay. It's handy dandy in my bar drawer. Okay, so I need 2 teaspoons of water. So, that is way too much. Watch as we learn here.
Watch and learn, people. Watch and learn.
That is 2 teaspoons of water. What are you looking at? Love?
No.
Oh my god.
I think it was just a bug.
Our house is so full of gnats. It's disgusting.
It's okay. We don't have to. We'll just didn't want to make sure we got the crunchy.
All right.
Protein.
Let's measure 2 teaspoons of water.
Sorry.
Bug free.
You know you've had a bug in your drink. Do you ever remember? Oh my gosh. Do you remember the movie Poltergeist? And I think it's the second one. And Coach, the guy who plays Coach, what's his name? Craig T. Nelson is the dad. Hello.
Hey, bunny.
And he drinks tequila, and there's a worm in it, and then the worm like grows in it, and it's just gonna be disgusting. It's so gross. Bunny is barking. Anyway, the bug and the tequila, it's like in this movie, it's so disgusting, and he throws it up. It's like, I don't think I could ever watch that movie again because of that scene.
Okay, so here's what's interesting about the sugar cube, is that you have to, like, make sure it dissolves.
Oh, I bet the bourbon would make it dissolve.
But it says, okay, I'm like breaking it up with a spoon.
Okay. I can smell the bitters.
They're not bad.
Bitter face.
I'm not opposed to bitter. Matthew and I were making like fresh squeezed margaritas this weekend, and we started, adjusting the recipe. And Matthew added some orange bitters to it, and it was really good.
Huh?
It was really good. So, okay, so we have dissolved the sugar. Now we're gonna add the bourbon. So we need 2 ounces of bourbon per. So I'm gonna add 4 ounces since we are doubling.
Nice. And she has her beer mats or bar mats.
Bar mats, which I think are very handy.
I am super impressed because, I've waited tables in my heyday.
My husband thought they were a ridiculous purchase.
No, but now, they're catching all of this stuff. Like any of this.
Right, I can just feel free to, like, make a mess. Okay, so then we're going to...
Yeah, we just pour on the side.
Pour.
Ooh, watch it melt.
Pour. I'm trying to make them even. Can you help me look to see if they're even?
This side. Okay.
More on this one?
A little bit on this side. A little bit on this side.
I feel like we're adjusting the camera. No, up, no, down, up, down. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, now we need to, we'll each do our own. How about that?
Do you do this?
Well, so you're supposed to squeeze it, do the peel side out, right? Like the...
Okay.
Outside, and you squeeze to express the juices and the oils.
Okay.
And then drop it in.
Cool.
And now we have our old fashioned. With big ice cubes. Cheers.
I'm sorry, I feel like I'm gonna I want to go like this.
We might have to take one of the ice cubes out. I think they're probably stuck together now, though. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. I'm gonna hold mine.
I'm sorry, it's so funny.
I like that this is gonna be on camera. We both have the same idea. Let's just hold the ice cube.
It's really good. It's very strong.
It is very strong. I am a big fan of an old fashioned.
I love bourbon, so yeah, I can take it. It's such a good sipper drink. You feel like you should have a velvet robe on a cigar. Anyway, okay, cheers. I love it. Oh, who's our guest today?
Okay, so our guest tonight is Alisha Curtis, and we'll be talking to her in just a few minutes. She has multiple roles. She works for the state government, but she's also a fashionista and style icon and blogger. So she's got, 2 different lives, and we love that. People that are really diversifying their interests and finding, their business and their creative side. So we're excited to talk to Alisha tonight.
I'm really excited to see her. So hang tight.
Well, welcome, Alisha, to Conversations, Cocktails, and Connections. We're so glad to have you here tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to see what this is all about.
I know. Well, the most important thing is, what's in your glass tonight?
Okay, so if anybody knows me, they know that I am a lover of champagne. And so I'm drinking a glass of Chandon to
Nice.
off my, 5 o'clock somewhere.
Nice. Well, cheers to you.
Cheers. We are having an old-fashioned tonight. So
great choice. That's a great choice.
We're straight into the bourbon this evening.
And we put too many ice cubes in it, so I'm like holding my ice cube.
Yeah.
So where are y'all located? This is a fun kitchen that I see in the background.
This is my house. This is
Beautiful.
where we
Our studio.
Yes, this is where we take over the house, and the rest of my family has to go hide for a little while we record the podcast. But
I was gonna say, excuse me if my dog barks. She's back there.
I don't know. I
hanging
have
out.
3 dogs, and one of them will definitely start barking during the recording of this podcast.
Okay, so
not,
we're safe.
It's not this podcast unless there's a dog barking.
I know, yeah. There's always a dog barking.
Perfect.
So tell us about you. Tell us what you do, Alisha, because we
want to know everything about you.
Oh man, I was telling her, I don't know how exciting it is, but so on the you want to start out personal or professional? What do you want to hear?
You can tell us what you want. Tell us professional first.
Okay, so I started out years and years ago volunteering on local campaigns, just going door to door, doing grassroots stuff. And I really got an interest for politics. I went to school for TV news and ended up interning at Channel 7 for half a year. And I was like, okay, this is not for me. And so, but I'm I'll get to it later, but it's the best of both worlds for me now. But so I went into politics because I really enjoyed that and ended up working for Governor Asa Hutchinson, and I started he won in 2014, and I started in 2015, and so I was his assistant, his right-hand person, and director of special projects for 5 years. And let me just say that is the coolest job. I wish I would have written everything down in a journal. I will never, ever forget the coolest, historical moments, that I witnessed, and it was just a really, really cool experience. But now, the governor in the past year, he did a transformation effort where he, all of these agencies we had 42 cabinet agencies, and he shrunk them down to 15. Well, one of them was the Department of Commerce, which combined 10 what used to be standalone divisions. And so I'm the Chief Communications and Legislative Director for the Department of Commerce. And so I get to work still alongside the legislature and the governor's office every day. And so they didn't let me get too far, I guess. So I'm still really, really enjoying it. It was sad not being right there in the action every day. But after 5 years, I thought that, it was time to move on. So it was a good time.
I bet you do have some stories to tell. I mean, like, to be in the that's the top position in the state. So that's where everything goes on and everything goes through. So you
I have a funny one.
Yeah.
So one day, this is just a funny one. And I will say, I spent more time with the governor and his family than I did my own family. So I was around them and saw, his mannerisms and his routines every day. So it was kind of neat. But one day, he has a photo op every day. And one day we went into the governor's conference room to do his, photo op with whatever group we were doing the photo with that day. And I noticed that he had 2 different pair of shoes on. He had 2 different shoes on. And he had a big speech to give the next hour. And when he came back in, I was like, tell you something? And he was just like, what? And I was like, you've got 2 different shoes on. And I said it where other people could hear me. And he was like, why did you say that out loud?
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is just a funny thing that I experienced with him. And he went home and changed shoes.
That could happen to any of
them. One wasn't Velcro and the other, shoestring.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. But it was pretty noticeable though.
So how do you address the governor? Is it governor?
I just say governor.
Okay.
And it's so funny because I knew him before when he was a congressman. So I used to, typically, I guess you refer to them as their last title or seat that they held. So I used to always call him congressman, even after he was congressman. And now I'd had to get used to calling him governor. So
the governor.
The governor. And he is a cool dude. He's just so laid back, and he was a great, great person to work for.
Well, so now you're really involved with what is helping businesses right now with the grant for for things to help with COVID. And I know I've talked to you personally about this for my business. And I mean, people don't realize how much you need to buy and purchase for your business to start off, to be prepared to clean, what you have to sanitize constantly, to be open. And so how are you handling all of that?
Yes. And so at the Department of Commerce, it's been unreal how COVID has affected us and how we serve people. On one end, like you are mentioning, is economic recovery for businesses. Mm-hmm. And so through the CARES Act, we were able to get approved through the CARES Act Steering Committee and the Arkansas legislature funds to basically provide, I think it's up to $1,000 per employee for businesses who apply for this grant. And I think every business that was able to apply, women, minority owned, businesses over 500 people, I think everyone that applied that was eligible and in good standing, they were able to get that grant. And so it was a huge relief. We got the money out as fast as we could. And I think we're going to see that we are going to need more.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this is going away. I don't think, providing masks, wearing masks, keeping your business sanitary is going to go away for years to come. So we'll see how, how we, the state, and then at the federal level can continue to provide for, businesses like Red.
Yeah.
And, because your business and many others like restaurants and things like that, they need sanitation the most. You're seeing the most traffic and things like that. And so I was happy to see that money go out the door so quickly. And I think we're going to actually get some sort of extension. So hopefully that we'll be able to give more in the future. But on the other end of commerce, what we are seeing every day is, spike in unemployment claims.
Right.
And although we're seeing more people go back to work, we unfortunately are seeing an uptick in fraudulent claims. I mean,
heard about this.
My stepmother, everybody around me is getting hit with, and this could go back 20 years from different breaches or, the dark web or however people are getting your information. But I'm seeing a lot of, I feel like I'm next, I'm seeing more and more people that are working, that have never filed for unemployment before. They're seeing their information being stolen. And so we are trying to get the word out there as much as possible on the steps to take once that happens to you. So.
Well, I mean, you're obviously doing some really great work over at the Department of Commerce, and I think all of the businesses in Arkansas need it. So what do you do on the flip side in your personal life to kind of relieve some of that pressure? Because that's a lot of pressure on that government side and kind of keeping people on their feet. I know I follow you on social media for some of your style and fashion trends, and I see you all about town. So tell us a little bit about some of your hobbies and kind of how you keep it light to balance what's going on in the real world.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You have to have balance in life.
Yeah.
And then one thing the pandemic has showed me is I cannot stand not being social. And so I've tried to do it as much as possible. So philanthropy is my passion. And early on when I did, I was the fundraiser for the Republican Party of Arkansas. And so I kind of when I left there, I turned my fundraising abilities into helping charities around town. And so that's just kind of what drives me. I love working for children's charities. And so the ones that I work on every day probably are the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, the Children's Tumor Foundation of Arkansas, and the Children's Advocacy Centers of Arkansas. And that one is what, when I moved to Little Rock 3.5 years ago, the Children's Advocacy Centers is, it's the First Lady's platform. And so she got me involved. And ever since then, I've just been doing, work for the community, and I've loved it. I never realized how much of a giving community Little Rock is in Central Arkansas. And so it's just really been a pleasure to live here for the past 3 years. I moved here from Benton. So
Okay. I was gonna ask where you're from.
yeah, I've always worked here, but I thought, well, I might as well live here because
Yeah.
it was a long commute.
So you just received a big award recently, right? The under 40.
Yes, yeah, that was really cool. Thank you very much. It was a virtual event this year, and I was really glad to be a part of that. And so
that's awesome. I mean, that's a huge honor.
I'm an alumni. Congratulations.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. Last year.
One of those things you put on your resume forever. Like, just tag that onto the resume.
I know, so proud. I had no idea. Mitch at Arkansas Business said that 500 people had applied this year, and I thought, oh my goodness, where are they finding these people? Wow. But anyway, yeah, it was a great honor to be a part of that.
That's awesome. Well, so on your social media, I mean, you can follow you personally, but you also have a Style in Little Rock Instagram page with Kat Sims and yourself are Styling in Little Rock.
Tell us about that.
Yes, so it's so funny. I didn't even know Kat. She's from Camden, Arkansas, but she lived in New York forever because her husband was he was going through his residency and his fellowship and all that. Now he's here at Carti, but she just reached out to me, I guess, a little over a year ago and said, hey, how would you like to do a joint collaboration? We have such different styles. And so we wanted to kind of mix, like we wanted to do like fashion meets philanthropy and, just show people here that you can find affordable things here locally, supporting your local businesses, but also by going to these fancy events in town. And so we'd like to show where to find things, what events are happening and things like that. And so we thought that would be something interesting and different that I haven't seen here locally. I mean, it's kind of changed a little bit since the pandemic, but we have a little monthly segment on Good Afternoon Arkansas. And so we're trying to just kind of show what we do through that.
That's awesome. I always look for other people for inspiration. So it's nice that, especially locally,
I was gonna say local
finds are so important because, when you're busy at work in an office or me at the salon, you here in your office, I mean, you just don't have a lot of time to get out to see and to shop locally. But when you know somebody and you trust their opinion of where they found certain things, that it's like so great to say, hey, I want exactly what Alisha had, or I want what Emily had from Box Turtle. I don't know. Ely's.
Yes. Yes. I mean, so one of my favorite finds recently, talking about wearing masks, I went to, first of all, I've been wearing those ones that you just buy, you buy the box that has about 100 of them in there and that gets makeup all in there and you can't wash them or anything like that. So I decided if I'm going to have to wear a mask for months on end, I'm going to get a nice one. And so I was in Barbara Jean the other day, and this lady makes these really nice silk, they're made out of silk scarves, but they're a designer. They've got like Chanel and Dior and Louis Vuitton. And so I broke down and bought a Chanel one. So how cute is that? But yeah, you can wash it and everything like that.
Does it have the metal nose piece?
It doesn't. It doesn't. It's thicker on this side, but it is you can tell it's a scarf. So
yeah,
super
that's
cute.
So cute. I've seen those on their Instagram.
It's the new accessory. The mask is the new accessory.
And it's also the new litter. I've seen them all over, you see just masks on the ground, and you're like, that's so interesting. It used to be, water bottles or whatever, but now it's masks, the new litter.
I would have not ever thought of that, but I bet you're so right.
I see them everywhere on the ground, flying off people's ear and everything.
Gosh, I have bought all the masks. I have tried them all.
This is my first one besides the surgical looking one.
Yeah. I mean, I will say the surgical ones you can breathe pretty well through them. They're just not, you just have to dispose of them. They're not as pretty for your outfits.
I mean, Hanky has to wear one all day, every day for work. So I can see why, she's bought all the masks to try them all. She's not like, well, tell me what mask is good. Yeah. Because I'm only going to have to wear it 30 minutes here and there.
So you and Alisha did Ashley Murphy's. I'm sorry. my gosh, you and Kat did Ashley Murphy's mask.
Yes, the Masked Project. Yes.
Heard of this?
I think I saw some of the images. Are some of the images big downtown?
Yes. So it was a really cool thing. I thought it was genius to capture what's happening in this moment, you know, and it just blew up, and she couldn't even, you could send her a text. Her number was going around town like, hey, come, and she would come to your yard and be very socially distanced and just take your picture. And they're all in black and white. And now it has become so popular. She's doing a coffee table book, and everybody that's in it, they're given a little, you know, description of how the pandemic has affected you. And so, it's really neat, and I can't wait to see the coffee table book. But yeah, it's just been a cool way to kind of, I don't know, adapt and showcase what's going on right now. So
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so what do you have in the future? Like how would people tell us what you have coming up, and then tell everybody how to find you on social media and how your outlets are.
Okay. Well, I was chairing the Cystic Fibrosis Taste of the Finest, which I still am chairing. We've just moved it to next year, but I've been working on that quite a bit. We're combining the Breath of Life Gala and the Taste of the Finest, which honors 30 young professionals around Central Arkansas, and they compete to raise money. And it's just a fun event with the best restaurants around town. And so we've turned it into a full-on gala, and so it'll be a formal event next year, and we'll have a band, and it'll be a fun time. So we're skipping this year. I feel for these charitable organizations because they still need to serve the people that they serve. And so I'm trying to help them as much as possible. But also for me right now, with the Children's Tumor Foundation, I am working on Dancing with Our Stars. We are still going live with that. I danced last year, and we are, September 10th is the virtual event. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. And each star, there's 5 stars this year, 2 male and 3 female. And we're going to have virtual watch parties all around the city. And so I'm representing Ann Preston, who is Secretary Mike Preston's wife. She's also my best friend. And we're hosting her watch party at the governor's mansion. So it'll be fun. And I'm looking forward to that. So that's what I'm really working on right now. But if anybody wants to find me on social media, I'm on Facebook, just Alisha Curtis, ALISHA CURTIS. And my Instagram is at Alisha Curtis. So my Twitter is at Alisha Ann Curtis, ANN Curtis. So.
Well, I will say I do miss fundraisers. I mean, when we can do this, we can be together. And I mean, I think they're going to just blow up. Everybody's going to be like, I want to get out. I want to go, donate money.
Virtual is not the same. They can do it all day long, but people want to be around people, so.
You really do. Well, I'm so excited to have you. It was nice to talk to you and learn all about. I love the idea that you're doing the Dancing with Stars thing.
It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
And the watch parties, that's great.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank y'all for having me, and I want to be on again. Next time I'll play my guitar.
Yes.
Girl, I love a guitar.
You just got a guaranteed invitation back. Like,
okay.
We're definitely going to book that.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
See you later.
Bye.